Hi, I'm Stephen Bones and I'm building a business online using the internet, which is amazing, and I'm achieving that by just investing a few hours per week in my spare time. And you might ask me, how have I managed to achieve that? Well, I'll explain to you that I was actually forced into this position, and now I look back, I'm glad I was. But in January in 2018, I had to close my traditional business. For 30 years I'd been in corporate sales and eventually scaled and started my own company. And all was going really well up until 2016. We'd been successful at this time, but I noticed things were getting harder, and I, over that period of time, traded time with my family for time at work, because that seemed to be the way business and corporate sales was. That just seemed to be the way of the world. That's all I knew. It was traditional for me. But when business started getting harder, I sort of dug in deeper to find out why, and I realised that the economy was changing, markets were changing. Our market was actually declining in what you call traditional business. It was due to the digital economy, and the way people purchased products and marketed their services all changed so fast. And I hadn't really understood that at the time. I knew I needed to get involved with the internet, but I didn't know how. And so from that point on, for the next 18 months or so, I tried different ways of creating growth. I invested more capital into the company and brought more products in, and we started to get more business on, but we weren't growing because our customer base was still losing products or sales out the bottom of the funnel, if you like. And by the time the start of 2018 had come along, I realised that we were in a corner and there was no way for us to go. We'd run out of money, basically. So very sadly, I had to make the company bankrupt. I lost 19 staff, some of whom had been with me for 10 years or more, and it was a really terrible time for all of them, even more so for those people that had been with us for quite a number of years. And it was a terrible time for my family. And like I said earlier, I'd traded 60, 70 hours a week for 15 years to build all this up, and I saw it disappear overnight. So it was a time for change in my life, not by choice, but I'd been forced into it. And I then thought, well, what am I going to do? I didn't want to work for anybody else. I didn't want to go back to a just doing a job to earn money, to just cover my outgoings. I wanted to do something more, and I wanted to achieve something. So in other words, I wanted to get up in the morning with a purpose and feel fulfilled. And I realised that the internet had caused some of my market's decline, so I decided to search and see what it was all about. And I realised that it was a massive tool, and it was still only in its infancy. It's still growing, with artificial intelligence coming on board and robots, and it's just such an exciting time we're in at the moment. It's a new revolution, industrial revolution. But I was still very frightened because my skill sets were very low. I could email, copy and paste, and that was about it. And I kept asking myself, can I learn new skills to change and get involved with this economy? So I kept looking, and after a period of time I found a link to a guy called Stuart Ross, and he sent me a 7-day video series. And I looked into this guy, and he's a very successful marketer within the digital economy. He has had various businesses within the digital economy, and what he was telling me was phenomenal. And I actually thought, if I'm honest, this is too good to be true. But I overcame my skepticism and I applied to join his learning platform. And I realised he created this platform. He didn't need any more money. He just created this platform to try and help like-minded people like me learn new skills and learn how to build a business, because he knew he got something to give back. He knew he got something to offer, and Then I found that there's loads of these like-minded people that are all helping each other and working together to help each other change their lives, because if we don't actually do something about changing our lives, it'll just stay the same. And I didn't want my life to stay the same. I needed to change. So if that's how you're feeling, if that's what you're about, you want to change your life, you've come to a point where you know it's time to change your life, then click the link below and you'll get the same free video series that I got, and maybe, just maybe, you may see an opportunity that will help you. So thanks for listening.